Now, some of the president's top priorities directly impact Texans, and Brian Smith, political science professor from St. Edward's University, joins us now live to break down some of these orders. Brian, thank you for your time, and there are so many orders, the executive orders. Let's start, though, with the biggest one, immigration. The president promising mass deportation. You just heard about a lot of fear going on, schools and churches, places like that. But can this actually happen, and what would this involve?
Well, first, thank you for having me. And yes, immigration is going to be the one that's going to impact Texas the most because we share that large international border. What it's going to involve, though, is it's easy to say, I'm going to clamp down on immigration. You can do that through an executive order, but he's going to have to eventually back it up with congressional funding, and that's where it gets difficult. He's also going to have to worry about the legal process. We know there's going to be challenges, especially on immigration, to everything he does, because once people are in the United States, they have a right to our equal protection under the law.
Now, he also signed orders declaring a national emergency at the border. So what does that national emergency really mean?
What that means is it focuses attention on the border such that Congress is going to have to act. Congress will respond if presidents declare emergencies. So this is how Trump's going to be able to back up some of his executive orders with the resources. But we know it's a large process, immigration, and previous administrations have tried and failed to solve our immigration problems.
One of the most shocking things I think most people would say here, he says he will end birthright citizenship for those born to undocumented immigrants, but it's in our Constitution, the 14th Amendment. If you're born on the soil, you're an American. Can the president do this?
Well, the president's going to try, and he's going to try to interpret the Constitution, but here again is where the legal process comes into play. We know there's already challenges to the president's executive order, and we'll see how that plays out. But the president can use executive orders on specific things, but rewriting the Constitution is not one of them.
You and I talked about it during the commercial break, though. Executive orders, people hear that and like, oh no, this is the law, but it's really nowhere near that, right? I mean, people shouldn't panic.
Right. We know that executive orders can be overturned by Congress through the legal process, or they can just be starved to death if they require money. We also know that writing something down as an executive order may not produce the intended results, such that the people on the right are going to say, yeah, he's taking action. It's going to solve all our problems. People on the left are saying this could be the worst thing ever, but somewhere down the line, it'll probably be a combination of both or neither.
So we just need to basically take a little break, take a pause, and see what really what happens.
Right. It's easy to write an executive order. Implementing it is the hard part.
We have time for one more question. Let's go to the energy front now. He froze the Inflation Reduction Act. So what does that pause mean for the clean energy initiatives that are already underway right now?
It means that the Trump administration, especially on the environment, is really pushing back on what the Biden administration did. And this means greater reliance on traditional fossil fuels, which is good for Texas, but also less emphasis on things like wind, which is bad for Texas because we are a large producer of wind. So again, we'll wait and see what happens. We know energy is not just Texas, it's a worldwide commodity. So what the president does is also going to be in relation to what else is happening in the world.
Yeah, I like this. The simple answer is we'll see. Brian Smith, a professor.
Yeah, definitely.
We appreciate your political science professor at St. Edward's University. Everyone just take a breath, calm down, and